Today we have another Cooking from the Pantry episode, and this one is really a lot of fun. I'm going to start off with a kale salad. Do you have places that you like to go out to dinner and you have one thing in particular that they do that you just absolutely love and you order the same thing every single time? Well, this is one of those. There is a restaurant in Atlanta called Atlanta Fish Market, and every single time we go, I get the king salmon and their kale salad, which is like no other kale salad. So I am going to try to duplicate that tonight. So I chop the kale into really small little bits, and this is actually early in the day because I like my kale to sit in the refrigerator with the dressing for a bit and kind of loosen up so it's not so stiff. So I am guessing on their dressing. So I'm just going to make a little shallot vinaigrette. So I know that their dressing is a little sweet, a little honey here. So I have some white balsamic, some extra virgin olive oil, the shallot, honey, and we're going to give this a whir. And I was shocked that it was so close. So I don't know. I'm going to have to ask them next time, see if they'll tell me what's in their dressing. So I like to get in with a kale salad and kind of massage it around. I don't know what it is about kale, but if you massage it around with the dressing and then let it sit in the fridge for a while, it really seems to soften up and take on the flavor so much better. So the salad at Atlanta Fish Market also has cranberries, dried cranberries in it. And then I made some pickled fennel and apple the other day. Now, they don't pickle their fennel and apple at the restaurant, but I thought it sounded like a great combination to do. And I'm glad I did because the fennel and apple I'd had in the house would not have lasted until I got around to making the salad. But because it was in the vinegar solution, it was great, extra crispy and terrific. So this was a nice addition. Now I'm going to mix this up a bit and then pack it away in the fridge until dinner time. Well, sadly, I don't have any salmon in the freezer, but I did have some chicken in there, so I defrosted that earlier. And I'm taking the time to go ahead and slice it horizontally so it cooks a little more evenly. I don't always like to stick my hand in raw chicken and deal with this, but I'm always glad when I do it. It cooks more evenly, and David can always be the hero instead of having one end that's a little too tough and one end that may not quite be there. So anyway, I'm just going to douse it with a little bit of avocado oil, some salt, and no salt, which I always think is so funny. This is the no salt from Costco, and I just think the seasoning is fantastic, but of course I always add the salt to go with it. So now this is ready for him to go put on the grill, and I don't have to worry about the chicken anymore. I'm going to move on to the broccoli. We have some sprouting broccoli in the garden, and this is one of those harvests, and we really enjoy these. I'm going to do it in the air fryer with a little bit of garlic and a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and it'll come out kind of crispy brown, but still crunchy green, I guess I should say. So anyway, it's a really good way that we enjoy having it. Now, back out comes the salad while the chicken is on the grill and the broccoli is in the air fryer. I'm just going to toss it up. It's nice and settled in. Kale it really kind of loosens itself up a bit when it sits in the refrigerator with the dressing. So I'm going to spread that out. I think I forgot to talk about the little slivered almonds, but those add a nice little crunch to this as well. So we'll get that out, and then David will bring that wonderful chicken in. So you can see David does a really nice job on the grill. I love cooking on the grill, but he thinks that's his little turf and he enjoys it so much. That's his way of contributing. So I am all for him doing the work out there if he wants to do it. So here's the broccolini. It turned out perfectly. All right, so we're ready for dinner today. We have, let's see if I can get it up here, broccoli from the garden. And then in this kale salad, which is the copycat version from the Atlanta Fish Market, it has kale and the apple and fennel pickles I made the other day, and just some shaved almonds and what are those things? Cranberries, dry cranberries. Okay, so we're gonna take a taste. I wanna know what you think of the salad.
Okay.
Make sure you get some of the apple and fennel.
Okie dokie.
How'd we do?
I know what you're going to say. Who could like kale salad? It's really good.
It is good.
It's really good. Zesty.
I made a creamy shallot dressing, which you saw me make. But the apples and fennel, having been pickled, it's just perfect. And then the cranberries are sweet.
Yeah, that's what that.
You like it, right?
Yeah, it's got a nice zesty taste.
I told them, or I showed them, that you ate the entire jar.
Oh yeah, they were hot too.
Where were they? Oh, the radish pickles, hot radish pickles. I had the serrano in there. I ate the entire jar in one sitting this afternoon.
Don't get rid of that juice.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know, but I like it.
He's so strange. He's so strange.
This is really good.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Okay. You like the salad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna go eat dinner. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. The next, we're going to do a new to me recipe. This is called coronation chicken. Well, there are lots of different versions of it. This one came from one of you. You'll see that Carrie left me in the comments on one of my videos this recipe, and I read it and thought, oh my gosh, that sounds fantastic. So I'm going to do that. So I started with a jar of canned chicken, and this was just raw packed, ugly chicken. I know a lot of people who are just starting to can, they don't understand, why you would can chicken. Well, this is my reason for canning chicken. I absolutely love to make a chicken salad, and this one is super special. So I have mango chutney going in here, and this salad is the reason you guys are going to get a video on mango chutney in the next couple of weeks, because not only do I want you to be able to make this salad, but I also want to make sure that I keep my stock up down below, because I'm going through it pretty quickly. I've now made this salad a couple of times, and it has even passed the leftover test. I had a little bit left over one time, and I had it the next day for lunch, and it was still perfect. So we added some cranberries and some pecans and apples and that mango chutney. Let me read you the recipe as she wrote it. So she says it requires a chutney, either mango or peach, generally. I use the mango. Canned breast of chicken, mayo, chopped apples, a dried fruit, either cranberries or raisins, a nut, like cashews, almonds, walnuts, or pecans, and curry powder of choice. Served on a bed of lettuce with crackers or bread, fresh fruit on the side. She says it's delish, and my goodness, she is right. Now, I use 2 teaspoons of curry here. And actually, the second time I made this, I went to a full tablespoon. And I think I'm somewhere, for my taste, somewhere in the middle there is right where I need to be. So this looks beautiful. It takes on a slightly yellow tint because of the curry I used. David loved it. I was a little worried he wasn't going to like it because it's different than our regular chicken salad. But he was a champ. He jumped right in. So here's some lettuce from the salad bar downstairs, because she said it served on a bed of lettuce. So I wanted to do everything exactly as she said. So this is 1 jar of chicken, 1 pint jar of chicken. And it was enough for 2 very filling meals. So that's why the next time I made it, we had a little bit left over. I had that for my lunch the next day. It was great. Okay, so she said it's served with fresh fruit. These are the orange and pineapple sections that I canned the other day. And she said it was served with crackers. So I made my 5-seed crackers, and I'll post that recipe down below. All right, you saw me make a recipe from Carrie, who was one of my subscribers. And I was so excited when I saw this recipe last night, because not only did I have everything in the recipe, I love everything in the recipe. So we had to have it today for lunch. So I'm going to take a little taste here. I tried to do it exactly as she said, although I didn't have any measurements. I just kind of went with what felt right to me. That is so good. That one's going to go in my regular rotation. That was fantastic. I made some little crackers to go with it this morning because she said it was served with crackers. Pulled some lettuce from the salad bar downstairs. And then I just did a video on this. I don't know if it'll be posted by the time you see this, but this is canned citrus. I have oranges and grapefruit in here. I just did that video. I don't know if it'll be posted by the time you see it. But she said to serve it with fresh fruit. Technically, we're not fresh because I canned it, but my goodness, it tastes fresh. You definitely need to make some of this when that video comes out. Thank you so much, Carrie. I'm loving this. We'll be having it a lot. Appreciate it. See you next time. So now we're going to do one more copycat recipe from one of our favorite restaurants. This one is here in town. It is a taco joint. We love to go kind of mid-afternoon when it's not so full, and we just sit at the bar and order our food there. And it's just a nice way to spend an afternoon with my husband. Anyway, we are going to start with some pickled slaw that I had in the fridge from, I think, last week. So this one has mostly carrots in it. Normally my slaw has mostly mostly cabbage in it. But anyway, it turned out quite well. So the slaw that they use at the restaurant has mayonnaise in it. Mine sometimes does, sometimes doesn't. So I just mixed this up a little bit. I wanted it to sit and kind of meld together while I make the rest of the dinner, which really didn't take very long at all. So they have at this restaurant a taco that we just love, and it's a brisket taco, and it is served with barbecue sauce on top and some creamy kind of sweet coleslaw on top of that. It always comes with a side of chips and some salsa, and you know I have plenty of salsa downstairs in my pantry, so we pulled that as well. I'm going to use the chipotle brisket that we made together, a month or so ago. So chipotle beef. So I'm going to open it here. I have used several of these jars already, and I really enjoy it. Just makes such an easy taco. I don't add anything to this as I cook it. I just pop it in the pan, cook it down a little bit, break it up with a fork, and call it done. So in the couple of minutes that it takes the beef to warm up on the stove, I'm going to get the plates ready, and I'm trying to kind of make it look like it does at the restaurant. Of course, it comes in an oblong kind of basket there, and they're not nearly as messy as I am in putting the salsa out. This is the zesty salsa. It is straight from the Ball Canning book. We love it. There is a lot of chopping involved in this one. I did a roasted version as well last year, and we really enjoyed that one too. Slightly different taste. Simply because it's roasted, but exactly the same ingredients and everything else, and it took about half the time to do it. So anyway, we love both of them. Now I'm adding some taco shells. I don't know. These are flour tortillas. These are the low-carb versions. At the restaurant, of course, they use the little corn tortillas, but I didn't have any of those today. Tuck a little fruit in, make sure everything is pretty, and we have something sweet to end with because I didn't make any dessert today. Okay, here's the beef. Literally, that was maybe 4 or 5 minutes on the stove. So all the liquid has cooked down. I didn't add anything else to this. It's just the chipotle beef. It is really good. If you haven't tried that one, you like this kind of thing, I think you're going to really enjoy it. So this is 1 pint-sized jar that I have, and it's enough to make 4 good-sized tacos for us. All right, so next up is going to be the barbecue sauce. Their barbecue sauce is really quite sweet. Mine isn't quite as sweet, but that's okay. It was still quite tasty and a good offset to the little bit of heat in the beef and the salsa. So it's my barbecue sauce from last year. It's a really tasty one. So if you need to make some more barbecue sauce this year, I'll put the link up above. It is that's going to be the one I make from from now on. I've always made the one from the ball book, but this one I really strongly prefer. On top of this is going to go the slaw. Give that nice kind of crispy texture to a taco. Now the restaurant, their slaw is very sweet. Mine is not so sweet. There's a little bit of sweetness from the brine in there, but I didn't want it to be over the top sweet. And theirs is also mostly cabbage, and mine here is mostly carrots. So it was close. So we get the same kind of taste and texture. All right, so we have a favorite taco place here called Mojo's Tacos. This is my take on their brisket taco.
Okay.
Okay, it's actually made with the brisket that I made, I don't know, a month or so ago.
Okay.
And then the pickled coleslaw, I added some mayo because theirs has mayo in it. It's going to be messy. Does it taste like it? Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, all right, I want to take a taste. Just as messy.
Very good, babe.
It does taste like it.
It's very good.
Coleslaw's a little bit different because they don't put as many carrots in theirs. But it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's great.
So from the pantry, we had the meat, the barbecue sauce, the salsa, and then from the fridge, we had the, I'm just I'm all over myself. From the fridge, we had the pickled coleslaw I made the other day.
Oh, that's really good.
So, all right, so we're gonna go eat. We're gonna go feast, actually. Thank you. I'll see you next time.